Welcome to another episode of the Roughly Related to Reselling podcast. My name is Perry Phillips. I go by Perry Flips on Instagram with a Z, Pothead Picker on X. Flips and Giggles is the eBay store and also the Whatnot store. And then Facebook, you can find me with Flips and Giggles as well. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast if you like the podcast. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button so that way you get notified. There's a lot of podcasts I follow, and then I forget to hit the notification, and then I'm like, where the fuck did that podcast go? They haven't been posting anything. And then I go and it's like buried because I listen to too many podcasts. So if you're like me and you listen to too many podcasts, just go ahead and do that right now. Subscribe and follow, and it helps me out immensely. We have another Whatnot show. We actually have a couple Whatnot shows this week. We're doing a pop-up because I didn't want to waste one of my weekly shows on this stuff, but it was too good of a deal not to pass it up. It was like $5 fill-a-bag for these golf shirts. So I'll talk about that sale in a little bit. And then tonight we have Plush on Whatnot. So 8:30 p.m. Eastern time is when we usually kick off. We usually go for about an hour, usually a little bit, sometimes a little bit more. I'm hoping that tonight it gets like going right away. It's a long day today. I've got, I'm hoping that it's like people just come in right away, because sometimes it takes a few minutes. You get like one or two people strolling in. So it's kind of tough. You got to I don't know. Some people say that you should start right away. Like I've read different things. Like some opinions are that you should immediately go to work. Like just start like going through stuff. Some people say they say what's up, say hi to people coming in, kind of explain the show. So I've tried to do like that approach, at least like for a minute. But it's kind of like, it's weird because like sometimes there's nobody there yet. You're like, all right. And then somebody comes in, you're like, all right, do I start talking now? Or just, so it's a very bizarre form of selling. I'm still getting used to it. Even the once a week, it's like, it's not like, it's not it's difficult, but it's not difficult. You know what I mean? It's just kind of, we sold out last week. I already said that, I think. Yeah, I said that because we did this show after that. So I think we should sell out this week. Our plush sales have been like our number one sales. And I just happened to get like a ton of plush, like from, the end of the season on. After the last sale, I didn't have any. I think like maybe like a handful of stuff was stuff that I have left over. And then, but yeah, all of it is like, I sold out of it last time, and I assume we'll sell out of it again this time. I have a lot of cool shit, and I'm hoping that they go for some money. So I've got a bunch of like follows and saves. I don't know. I'm thinking about promoting the sale. I got to go get some gift cards from Target. So I don't know, 'cause for giveaways and stuff. My wife's like, are we doing giveaways again? I'm like, I feel like we kind of have to until we like have a huge audience base. But I don't know. I want to start doing sponsored giveaways once we get like a few more followers. We're almost at 300. Or no, we're almost at 400. 300 or 400. Let me see. Because I don't want to be saying some shit that's not true. Because there's a big difference between 300 and 400 followers. I want to say maybe it's 300. Yeah, I think it's closer to 3. Let me see. I got a little too big for my britches. Yeah, just shy of 300. Just shy. So yeah, follow on Whatnot too. It's been fun. So yeah, the plush sale tonight. I have a couple plush, man, that I got. So I went to that like hoarder house again. I keep like bringing up a few of the things I want to talk about like more elaborately. And so I apologize. I keep like teasing little things that I'll be talking about later on in the show. But I got these like Garfield dolls that the last time they sold, those actually sold for like $8 each, and they had smelled like cigarette smoke. And so these ones are like I have more of them. I got all the ones that they had just because last time they all sold for like $8 each, and I got a really good deal on them. And so, sorry, I'm looking out. I got a Facebook Marketplace pickup here in a second, so I'm gonna have to pause the podcast. The fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, so like I got them cheap enough to where like, you know, even if they sell for a couple bucks each, that'll be cool. But last time they sold when they were stinky, so I made sure I put it in like the title of the listing for it because I posted all of the stuffies already. I was gonna do like I saw that's the thing. I've seen some people say you should like not post it because then people like will have to stay around to see what you've got. Hold on, what's up? And so I could go either way on it. I think like we know people who we've done the stuffy ones before. We've been successful with them, so I think it's fine to just post all the stuff because it doesn't take that long. I mean, I think it took me like 30 minutes. So hold on, let me pause this because I got to run outside. I think this person's here for their stuff, and then I'll come back and get back to whatever I was talking about. I was talking about the whatnot sale tonight, just so I don't forget. But all right, I'll be back in a minute. Hell yeah, just made my money back on some Lamax Halloween decorations. I've never bought one of those that wasn't fucking broken. I swear to God. But people always sell them so cheap. Like usually I get them for like $5, $10. And like if they're, you know, some of the bigger ones, if they're completely together, can be worth some money. But almost every time they're fucking broken. So I bought one at one sale and then one at another sale. Those like, you know what I'm talking about? Like those resin, I think, like kind of porcelain resin Halloween sets. The Lamax Spooky Town. They have Christmas shit too. But yeah, they're almost always fucking broken. But I've gotten collections like that before, and they're kind of a pain in the ass to go through, but they do pretty well. It's like I've gotten them for free. Like I went to this one, there was like a house clean out, and this lady had just like boxes and boxes of stuff, and she just was like, yeah, everything's free. I haven't been to a house like that in a while. Man, I fucking miss that. When I moved to my new house where I live now, I think it was like a couple weeks after I moved. There was, I forget where it was advertised, but like only me and one other person got there, and like they had like vintage clothes. I grabbed like bags of clothes for free. There was like boxes of old Playboys. I grabbed a bunch of those, even though those aren't really worth a lot. That was like a learning experience. And then there was like money in the clothes, but like still it was just like going into this house and walking around and getting shit for free. I got like one of those workout machine thingies, not workout machines, but it was like a smaller box, but it was like in the box that like it was shipped in. You know what I mean? So all I had to do was literally find a stock photo. Those are my favorite finds. When you find something that's in the original box it was sent in, because then you just ship it right in that box. Like that's the box it was sent to you in, and like you just fucking send it right back in that same box, and it's awesome. So yeah, it's been a while since I've gone to like a free clean out where they're like, yeah, just walk around and take whatever the fuck you want out of the house. Oh, I fucking love those. I don't think I had any this year. There was a couple free piles, but no, you gotta wait till like spring now. It's like this depressing time of the year where like last week was definitely it for sales. Like last week we went out with a bang. So did I finish what I was talking about? I was talking about the whatnot sale tonight. Yeah, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you check it out. I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna try to post this like right after. This might be a shorter episode again, just because I don't have fucking time today. I'm feeling a lot better from last week. My throat is not like fucked up anymore. Actually, it kind of is a little bit, but not like from talking and shit. It's just like occasionally a like little hurt in the back of my throat. So I think it's still like my daughter just got sick again. The one that got the hand, foot, and mouth worse. But they were like, yeah, it's sometimes it's from like when they get a virus and then they get that shit after. So it's like, oh, cool. So yeah, it just never fucking ends. Anyway, so this last weekend, it was, what was day was it? So Saturday, my wife was actually off, which was awesome because usually she works, and so she was off, and I was able to, I'm able to drive around to sales. So at the last minute, like at night, the girl who had the sale with like the, all our hot friends and shit, where I got the band T-shirts, the yard sale sirens. So that chick had a sale, and in the picture I saw these Garfield dolls, and I knew that they did well, so I ended up scooping up. You already know that part. So I drove out there. They also had a bunch of other stuff. There was like these model cars, and I knew she was going to give me a good deal because she said, she was like, oh, just make a pile, whatever. And one of them, I looked them up, and like they were selling for like between 180 and 200. So I paid like, she wanted like 25 for everything, so I just gave her 30 because like it was a ton of shit. So yeah, but on my way out there, because that's what I went out there, I actually got a Lost in Space. It was like 1997 Lost in Space T-shirt. It's like a limited edition out of 1997. That's the amount of T-shirts that were made of it. And then it has like the guy's autograph too. Not on the T-shirt, but like it comes with like the certificate of authenticity in the auto. But it was like chewed on, so it was like brand new originally. But it was like there was a hole through the collar, and so I had to basically toss the plastic and take it out of the plastic and take the certificate out with it, and then wash the shirt, which, yeah, it needed it. So that's the only problem with some of these fucking hoarder houses. Some of this shit is gross. Fucking nasty, dude. So anyway, on my way out to that sale, which like I had intended, like there weren't too many sales, but my plan was to go hit this sale because it was like, stuff I knew I could flip, and then hit another couple sales and then head home. So as I was driving out, I saw a big yard sale sign, what I thought was a yard sale sign, and it said like the name of the town. Then it said town-wide yard sale, and there was a big ass QR code. It's like, oh, fuck yeah. So I just stopped, took a picture of did the QR code thing. And there ended up being like, 15 or 16 sales. So I just started driving around. I got like a nice leather jacket, some vintage, like a nice vintage clothing haul. I'm trying to think of what else I got. I didn't take pictures of any of it because I've been so fucking busy all weekend. And it was just like, it was so much shit that first day. What the fuck else did I get? Man, this is annoying because I got a ton of shit. Fuck, I can't even remember. I got the leather jacket. I feel like I'm missing something big that I got. I don't know. It'll come to me. Anyway, I was driving around, yeah, and there was a few people like I would be like, "Hey, do you have any T-shirts?" And they would go inside and then come out with like shit I didn't want. So it was almost a big like home run on a couple. No, I mean, that's not like close to a home run. Sorry, I just distracted myself as I was talking, and it didn't go well. I apologize. But anyway, so yeah, there was a bunch of fucking sales. Oh, I got like these CKY DVDs, which when I first looked them up, well, one of them, it was like a Boston Beatdown, which I remember that. I remember all of them from when I was younger. But one of them is like, it's signed. I don't know who it's signed by. I'm sure it doesn't add too much value, but one of them looked like it went for decent money. And then the other three like were like, average, decent money DVDs. But that was cool, so I found those. I remember that now. But yeah, I just found a bunch of shit. Oh, and then I ended up, where did it was cool because it was like 5 minutes. Everything was 5 minutes apart. So I would be like, at once, I was able to kind of go do like I'm trying to figure out how I want to describe this. Like a loop kind of, to kind of like go back home, you know what I mean? So like I went around to like from where I was at the first yard sales, so it kind of worked out. I kind of worked my way around, and like literally every sale I'd put the GPS in or the navigation, and it would be like 5 minutes. Normally when you do townwide, it's like fucking 20 minutes to get to the next sale. So it was really nice. Like everything was pretty close, and the weather wasn't bad. Oh, I got a BMX bike, which I think I should do okay with. I'm gonna sell that on Marketplace. See how that goes. Those usually sell pretty quick on Marketplace for the right price. So then I what else? Scooted around to a few other sales on Saturday, and then kind of headed back home. And then I saw somebody posted that they were having like an estate clean out. It was on my list of sales to go to, and I didn't fucking go. But they had a ton of comic books. So when I got there, I was kind of listening, and I was looking through the books, and it was like not really a lot of shit that I wanted. It was like a lot of independent stuff, and then there was a mix of like, different Marvel stuff. Nothing, no keys or anything like that. It was from the guy's collection when he was younger. But then I found like a copy of Zelda. It was like Zelda number 3 from Valiant Comics. So those books I knew had some value. Plus I love Zelda anything. So I snagged that. He was doing $1 a book. And then after that, I had overheard him talking to this other guy, because there wasn't anything else that I really was like too into. But he did have some Mad magazines, and they were like from, what year were they from? Like the 70s, 80s. So they were like, not like super new, but there was a whole like long box of them. So he started counting them up. And he's like, oh, I would do like, normally I'd do like 50, but he's like, you want the whole box for 20? So I was like, fuck yeah. So I did that, and he added the comics I had in my hand already in. But it was just all a bunch of Mad magazines. So I they don't sell for a ton of money, but you can lot them up. And these are all in like perfect condition. So those will be an easy sell. I'll probably lot those up and get them listed soon. I did those one time. I bought a shit ton of Mad magazine, and the way I sold them, or no, I wasn't with I was with the Mad magazine. And the way I sold them, because you can't really sell magazines under media mail. You're not supposed to. So the way I would sell them was I would put them into a priority like flat rate box, and so I would just stack as many of them into a box as I could, and then that would be the lot. And so I just did that with every lot, and then fucking sold them all within like a couple days. So lot sales on eBay are very underrated. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like if you're a seller, if you're a seller on eBay, you could sell like lots all day of stuff that like you can sell individually on Whatnot. Does that make sense? So like if you have like a whole little collection of stuff, you could probably sell it, in one shot on either platform. But it's like, what's more fun? What's going to get you more money? I don't know. So I pick and choose like what I could sell. And like I was going to do CDs on Whatnot, but then I don't really know how that market is. And yeah. And so, yeah, I just sold them in lots. I had one guy reach out because he said that his CDs like arrived damaged. And like I always pack the shit out of my CDs. Like I just put a shit ton of paper. I never put bubble wrap just because a lot of the time it doesn't really do shit, especially for CDs. So I just pack like as much paper in so they're not moving, and then everything's like tight. And I put them in plastic bags. So like they're put in plastic bags, and then they're like tight. So they're not like scraping against each other and anything like that. And then I pack them in so they can't move. And so they were like, yeah, this got damaged. I'm like, well, I've sold hundreds of them that way, and they have not gotten damaged. I don't know why I don't use bubble wrap. I think it's just because it's harder to get like the CDs to like not move around, I think. And like otherwise you'd have to individually wrap every single one. That would be like ridiculously expensive for the buyer and for me. All right, one time I sold a lot of Transformers, and the guy was like pissed that I had, and it was like a $30 lot. It wasn't like they were like classic Transformers. They were like basically like the plastic ones from like the early 2000s. And so yeah, they sent me a message, and they were just annoyed about they were just annoyed that I didn't wrap it individually. So I was just like, if I had wrapped each one individually, it's like, this was a $30 order. Like, that would have cost me more money than I would have been making on this to wrap each one of these individually. And like, it was packed fine. And like, I don't think anything happened this one. He's like, yeah, or they said that something broke. So I said, we can return it. They didn't send any pictures. And then they never, sometimes people just reach out and you never hear anything again. Then sometimes you do. I just had a return for some Birkenstocks, and then I had a return for blow mold. So the blow mold arrived damaged, which they had to try to fucking break that thing, because I had put a shitload of paper because I was worried that it was going to break on the tip. So I put a shitload of paper around so it wasn't like touching any of the outside. And then, I put a ton of paper around it. And so somehow they like must have slammed it hard enough to crack it. Luckily the buyer was cool about it. And the Birkenstocks were fine. I was worried I was going to get them back and they were going to be like stinky and used. Because sometimes people will like get your shit like and then like wait until the following weekend. So like, oh, you just needed this for a thing. And I get it back. It smells like cologne. I'm like, what the fuck? So I always just charge them fucking 50% on that shit. I'm like, if you're going to fucking treat my shit as a rental service, then I'm going to charge you for renting my shit. So, yeah. But then after that, so that was pretty much it for like sales on Saturday. But it was a nice day. So we went to, it was like a fall fest on Saturday at this restaurant nearby that's down by the water. And it was supposed to be like 50 vendors a week before. We went to one that they had like prior in the years past. And it was pretty cool. There was like a shitload of stuff there. But this one, because the original date got rained out, it was supposed to be the week before. So the original date got rained out. So I think a lot of people had to cancel. So it was like a lot more scaled back and smaller. And yeah, so we hung out there, and they had like burgers and shit. They were cooking on a Blackstone outside, and whoever the dude was cooking could not fucking cook a burger to save his life, or he didn't have his grill hot enough, or I don't know what the fuck. But yeah, he gave me a burger. It was like half raw, but like I'd already eaten half of it before I realized like the other half was like not cooked. It wasn't like just like, oh, this shit's like rare. It was like, oh, this shit's like not cooked. I could see it kind of when he fucking handed it to me, but I'm like, it could be like medium rare, whatever. I couldn't tell. And so then when I started to eat it, I was like, oh, it's fine. And then I got to the other side and I was like, oh, this shit's fucking. So I probably shouldn't have like bet on it because I just lost a bet on my immune system the week before. So I shouldn't have fucking. That was my bad. But nothing happened, luckily. I was fine. But yeah, it was all right. And then I had to leave, so because we were hanging outside and there was these fucking bees like that kept coming over swarming us. Not swarming, but like, they were like yellow jackets or some shit. And they just like sweet shit, so they'll just come over and like land on your beer or come over and land on some, the food you're eating or whatever, ketchup. So there was just a lot of those. I'm like, God damn it, where the fuck are these bees coming from? So that was annoying the shit out of me. And then the band was really just not good. It's never caused me to leave somewhere before, but I was like, I can't stay and listen to this. It's a beautiful day outside. I want to be outside with my kids, but I can't listen to this shit. This is fucking terrible. Like, just out of rhythm, no charisma, no swag. The dude couldn't sing. He was playing guitar and singing, and it's like, if you're going to play guitar and sing, you have to at least be really good at guitar, and he was fucking terrible at both. But it was like stuff that was like, just have the girl sing. Like, she was better than he was, but like she still was not great. And then I'm pretty sure the band was like named after her, and that's kind of weird. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not like a fucking gangster, So, anyway, yeah, it's, yeah. So, hold on, let me pull up So yeah, today I've got to do. Sorry, I'm like really distracted today. I was contemplating like doing the podcast later, but I just don't have time. I won't have time tomorrow. We're doing a second whatnot. So Sunday. So oh yeah, so Saturday. Let me finish telling you about my Saturday, and then I'll tell you about my Sunday, and then I'll tell you about my whatnot shit, and we'll keep it moving. So Saturday, after we left that place, we were like, oh, let's just go fucking trunk or treating, dude. We were supposed to go trick or treating the week before, and I talk shit about it. I'm always like, fuck, like trunk or treat. We're not doing it this weekend. Sorry, I just had to interrupt. We're not doing it again this weekend. Like, we're taking a break. So we went one on Saturday afterwards. Went to one in town. And it was cool. You know, my daughter saw some kids she knows from school. They got to run around in their costumes. Oh yeah, by the way, at the other place there was a face painting thing, and they had a they only had a couple things. It was free, and so the lady, like my daughter was asking for a puppy, and she was like, I don't know what she's saying because my daughter, you know, still like learn how to talk. So I heard what she said. She's like, oh, puppy. So I'm like, oh, can you do a puppy? She's like, I've never done one before. I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're gonna see how it goes. So I thought like maybe she would do like a little puppy like on her cheek or something. She did her whole fucking face. She did her whole fucking face with as a dog, dude. It was like around her mouth. So by the time, you know, she started eating like cookies and like there's all types of it's Halloween, so everybody's giving out fucking candy everywhere. And like you could only say no to so much candy, you know what I mean? You don't want them to like have a weird thing with candy. So we try to like let them have a few pieces, and then like we kind of like tailor it off, and then we take breaks in between. So I don't adhere to those rules. So I have to like sneak candy so that my kids don't see me, because otherwise they'd be fucking like, why are you eating candy every day? And so yeah, I sneak my kids candy and then, you know, dole it out to them as I fucking please. Use it as bargaining chips. But they act like fucking psychos, and I know like some people, like if you're like, my kid doesn't act like a psycho when after they have sugar, and it's like that's because they're probably fucking used to sugar. It means that you're giving your kid a lot of sugar. Because my kids act like fucking insane people after they have some sugar, and like it could be one. I was like, here's one piece of chocolate, and like they're just like fucking out of control. But they also hate like McDonald's and fucking fast food. Like they hate fast food. We just never got it. We never get it. Like, I just don't get it. I used to get it when I was fucking single and like, you know, but like, yeah, even like it got to a point where I was just like, it's just terrible. It used to be fucking good. I remember when it used to be like the dollar menu. It was better when it was cheaper. It's like, how the fuck did this happen? We pay more for this and it sucks. But yeah, I used to get high and I would go to go get the dollar menu. And I would just sit in my fucking parking lot. I would sit in my driveway. I'd get home and sit in my driveway, and I would just eat a bag of like. I remember I would buy like 2 double cheeseburgers at least, like a McChicken, at least fucking 10 McNuggets, at least 10 McNuggets. So it was, yeah. I'm getting a spam call. God damn it. Fuck these people. But yeah, it was bad. So like I would eat a lot of fast food and shit. So like, you know. With my kids, we get it like, you know, if we're on the road or something like that, we'll get it, and they'll every time without fail they're like, I don't like this, I don't like this, this is gross. I'm like, you're the only kids I know that don't eat fucking fast food. Every other kid I've ever met like ate fast food. Like we got a McDonald's gift card for my kid for her, like it was like her second birthday maybe. And it sat forever. I think we finally used it. We were like on a road trip, and we were like, we might as well use this gift card because we need to get some food. And we used it, and we were like, that was fucking gross. And my kids did not eat it. So, anyway, so Saturday. So, yeah, all this was, I think I was talking about candy for some. So yeah, we went to this first one, walked around, and then there was another one that was like, I had read that it was like at this thing, so I just assumed. So that was my bad. I should have put the address in, but I assumed that it was at one place and it was at another place. So by the time we got to the first place, that it was the wrong place. it was then like another 20 minutes to get to the other one, or there was like one that was ending in about 20 minutes that was like 5 minutes away. So we ran over to the one that was ending, and that one was cool though. They had like, it was like a trunk or treat, but it was, they were doing like a competition. So like you had to vote at the end for your favorite one. So people were putting some like good effort into it. There was one that was like a farm, and they had all these like soft, squishy, like stress ball type material toys. But those were all like veggies, so they were like letting kids pick all like the veggies and stuff. They were fucking creepy looking. Not creepy like, they were creepy happy looking. They were like so happy they were creepy looking. Does that make sense? Like I'm a happy guy. I love my family. I love what I do. But like, if you ever see that look on my face, it's because I just killed my family. Like, that's the creepy look, like that they just did something fucking psychotic, and they're just like, yeah, it was creepy. But they looked like they were very nice also at the same time. Do you know what I mean? They had like one of the better setups. And then there was like just random ones throughout. There was like a K-pop Demon Hunter one. My daughter was telling me the other day, she's like, I know K-pop Demon Hunter, or she's like, I know K-pop or something like that. I go, oh, you know Korean pop? And she just kind of looked at me. I'm like, go ahead, tell me about how you know Korean pop music. And I knew what she was talking about. And she's like, well, this person at school watches it. And I don't give a fuck if she watches it. I looked it up. It's like 10 plus. But my neighbor's like, yeah, my kids watch it. They're like, he's like, sometimes they say it's scary and we shut it off. But he's like, but it's not like. So I'm like, oh, I guess we could check it out. They've never asked. I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was an anime. You know what I mean? And so my kid was talking about like K-pop at school. And so we were walking around. There was like one, it was like a K-pop thing. I could see the name or whatever. So it was, hey, what's this one? I asked my kid, and she's like looking at it. She's like, I don't know. I go, it's K-pop. I knew you didn't know what K-pop was. But yeah. So yeah, that was pretty funny. And so there was like a couple of K-pop like themed trunk or treat things. And I was like, oh, that's what that was afterwards. I figured it out like after the fact. So we did that, and then Saturday night we got a babysitter, and we went to they did like a haunted house in the town. So like there's this big water park in my town that's like been here for years. Like I went there when I was a kid. And this is the first year that they've like converted it into like a fall festival type thing. So they did like a fall festival during the day, and then at night you can go in and do like, they have a haunted house. It becomes a haunted house. And so it was like $35, which I was like, normally haunted houses that are like, cheap or whatever, are like neighborhood ones or whatever. So like this was like at an actual place. So I kind of had low expectations, to be honest with you. I was like, it's probably going to be shitty. Like I had expected it fully to be shitty. But when we walked through, they just needed more actors. Like I think if they had a few more actors, it would have been good. But I'm hoping that they like build it on it next year, because I love fucking haunted houses. And it's like literally, it's like 10, 15 minutes from my house. So it was pretty sweet. We like... the sets were pretty crazy. Like they definitely spent a ton of money on the sets. That's what I was most impressed with, was like the sets there, because they had like this fucking crazy wild boar thing, and it was hanging. I should have fucking known too. It was hanging. I was like, yo, this thing's fucking crazy looking. And as soon as I like put my head down to look at it, it started fucking moving. I was like, holy shit, dude. So there's like got to be somebody watching the whole time, because they were like pretty good at timing the scares. And I'm like, I'm not I'm not the type of person to like call things out. Like, so if I go walk by you and I see you, I'll fucking like, I'll kind of look the other way. You know what I mean? Like, because there was one time there was because there's a couple times when you're the first. I always go first, because people like, nobody ever wants to go first. So I'm like, I'll fucking go first, dude. They're fucking teenagers. You know what I mean? It's like most of them are teenagers. But it's just fun to fucking see all the sets and shit. They put a lot of work into it and shit. And so, yeah, so I go like first. And if I see somebody like hiding and shit, I'm not going to be like, there's a fucking person. You know what I mean? So like, they were pretty good though about, sorry, fucking cough. They were pretty good about like mixing up who they would scare. So like, at any given time, like whoever was like first, whatever, they would scare that person sometimes, and they would go to the middle, and then so they did a pretty good job. And then it like gets broken into two parts, and then you go to the like other side, and then it's like the end, and there's like a corn maze. And I think they let us in too fast, but it was creepy as fuck because we walked in, and the chainsaw guy was like running. He was running back to like go hide to come pop out and scare us. But it looked even creepier because like you just saw him run by real quick, and I was the only one who saw him. So nobody else saw him. I was like, oh shit, that's fucking. So I knew he was coming anyway because you could hear him. But it was just like, yeah. So you came out, and they kind of like, they chase you like out of the end of the the park basically through this like thing, and we all like ran out fucking like little kids. It was fun though. You know what I mean? I knew he didn't have a chain on the chainsaw, but it was fun. So we had a good time. And then after that, we were driving home, and my wife texted my mom. She's like, we're on the way back. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, we could go like have a drink or something. Like we don't have to go right home. Like we're early as fuck. She was expecting us to be out till like 11. You know what I mean? It was like 9:30. So then she texted my mom back. I was like, we're going to stop for a drink. It's like, damn, dude, you fucking could have hung out for a little bit. So that was cool. So that was my Saturday. And then on Sunday, I saw an ad for a sale. It was like fill a bag. It was like, it said tons of golf t-shirts or golf shirts. So I was like, all right, it's fill a bag. I spent $25 and I got probably 200 golf shirts, maybe 200 to 300 maybe. I don't know. There was a lot. And I paid like $25. I got a bunch of stuff from there. I got a leaf blower. I've been looking for a leaf blower for my lawn for a long time. So I finally got a leaf blower. And yeah, they just kept pulling stuff out, and I just kept buying it. I almost bought a bunch of Uggs, but then I was like, I don't want to deal with them. And she wanted like $80 for the bin, which was a good price, but I was like, I don't want to deal with these. You know what I mean? I didn't want to spend $100. I'd rather just save that $100 and see what else pops up. Because I've got a ton of stuff to sell. We've got that sale tonight, and then I've got a bunch of I still have a bunch of those toys. I sold a bunch of those. I got another payment coming in from my buddy this week on those video games. So I got to get that bundled up. I want to start packing it up. So as soon as he's like that week, I was going to surprise him and have it sent out already the week he was going to pay me the end. If he's listening, I'm not going to do that. Just kidding. But anyway, so yeah, so I got a ton of those golf shirts. So we're going to be going live Thursday morning at 10 a.m. So we're going to try that slot for, it's not going to obviously be an every week thing, but we're like, fuck it. We've got a bunch of these things. We'll see. And hopefully I don't have to like donate them. Yeah, I'm hoping somebody comes in and just buys it. Even if it's $1 each, you know what I mean? There's like enough to where even if somebody comes in and buys $1 each. I wish they were all brand new. That would have been fucking way better. There's a couple brand new ones, but yeah, it's gonna be rough because we've got the whatnot tonight, and like I said, I have a speech today. I have to do a speech about a persuasive speech. I think next week is my last week of the speech classes. I can't wait to be done. I really can't. It's just so much more work than like my other straightforward class. I can do my work for the week in like an hour to 2 hours, and I'm done for the week. This lady is like, this class is going to be like this, and it's like a condensed class, so I get it, but it doesn't need to be like this fucking serious, especially since we're only doing like 2 or 3 speeches. I could see if we were doing like a shitload of speeches, you know what I mean? And it was like, all right, we're going to do a speech every week for like fucking the year. But it's like, we're just doing a couple speeches. Like it's clearly this is a prerequisite. Like I feel like some people that it's like, dude, your class is, I don't think people are taking this class. Like some people were, I'm sure. But I'm surprised. I probably had to take that class back in the day. A lot of the information I knew, and I took like human communication when I first went to college. The first time I got kicked out of college. I don't know if I got kicked out of. I got I kind of got kicked out and I kind of left. Like they gave me a second chance and because they were like, yeah, you haven't really been doing any of the schoolwork. I just straight up wouldn't do schoolwork when I was younger. I would just be like, I remember there was a few friends that I would have that we would just like rather do drugs and shit than just like do anything. Like I had one friend who would text me about just going to do cocaine. It would be like 9:30 in the morning. And we were like in some ancient Latin or ancient American. I forget what the class. I went to that class one time. And he was like, let's go do cocaine. And I was like, all right. So I got up to go to the bathroom and I just left and went to his house and we did drugs. I never went back to that class. And that was like towards the end of my college. So I think that was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. And I just ended. I didn't go there anymore. And then I attempted to go back to school like another time. I had to take some classes. Oh, I think I had to take some classes to get back into school. I think that's what it was. I had to take some like summer courses. So I had to go to like community college in between going to college, which is kind of embarrassing. And then I left. And then I went to school in California. I was like, oh, I'm going to move to California because college is free. Yeah, and then I went there, and at least I wasn't like, hey, let me borrow a bunch of money to do college. Like, I just never really wanted to do college, and I just was like, I don't understand why I have to do this. I still don't. I'm still like, why am I doing this? I know all of this information. All of this information I know. I've barely cracked the book open. Like I've cracked it open and looked through it, but I like skimmed through it because I'm like, this is all shit I know. And I've like easily been passing the classes. I've got one more week of this shit, and then next week I think I start another, or not next week, the week after that, I think I start an English class, which I'll do that all day. I'll just sit and write because I can just sit there and write some shit while I'm watching TV. I don't have to fucking like with the speeches, you have to write it out, which is fine. Like it's easy because you're kind of like writing it out, but then it's just the rehearsal part. Because if you're actually rehearsing it, let's say it's 7-minute speech. You know, you're doing a 7-minute speech, and they say that 20 times, so 140 minutes. Or 140 hours, or 140 minutes, which is 2 hours. It's like 2 hours and something. So it's like 2.5 hours of just like practicing for your speech. That after like the hour and a half to 2 hours that you had to write it, on top of the homework that you had that week. So this class is just kind of fucking ridiculous, and I can't wait for it to be done. And it's easy too. That's the part that's the worst. It's like it's easy. It's just tedious. It just takes a long time. But I kind of like wait till the last minute to prepare for the speeches anyway. So, whatever. Yeah. Let me see what else I have to talk about because I've got. What time is it? Do I have time to even finish? Because I gotta go get my kid soon. Where do I have to go somewhere today? Fuck. I feel like I have to go. So I have a package that I have to drop off. Oh, I gotta get gift cards. That's right. So I can do that after I pick my kid up. So yeah, I think I still have time to finish up because I should be. Sorry, I got about 17 minutes left to do. So let me see. We're at about like the 45-minute mark, just about. Let me see. Oh yeah, so I found out about 6-7 like last. I had heard it, and for some reason I thought I saw somebody say it's like a new like 69 joke or something like that. But I think that was completely wrong. Well, I know now that it was completely wrong. I watched, what was it, Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast, and they had Skrilla on. And he's like a rapper from Philadelphia. And I guess his song started like the 6-7 thing. He has a song called Doot Doot 6-7 or something like that. So it's just a stupid thing that kids do. It doesn't really mean shit. But when I was at the haunted house, we were in line, and the girl was like a younger chick. And I was like, oh, how long is this ride? Because it was me and my buddy and his girlfriend and my wife were like, didn't want to do this one because it was like an extra added on thing. It was pretty gay. They literally gay. I had to fucking sit there and hold my buddy's hand. But it was like an add on to the haunted house. It was stupid. But it was like free with it was like they gave you these tokens, so it was kind of free. You know what I mean? It came with the thing. So then what the fuck was I saying? So yeah, so I was waiting in line for that, and the chick who was like the who lets you in, who's younger, and she's like, what the fuck did she say? She was like, oh yeah, so I was like, how long is this you know whole thing take? She's like, oh, it's like 5-10 minutes. She's like, I almost made a 6-7 joke just then. I was like, oh shit, I know what that means now. I didn't say that, but in my head I was like, oh yeah, and my buddy like was like, we were just kind of like being old guys together because he's older than me. And so then this fucking old lady comes out, and it was supposed to be like a gypsy fortune teller theme like thing that we were going through. So she comes out and she's like, she goes over to the youngest girl in the group, and she's like, something's telling me to do this and go 6-7 to you. And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, if I didn't know what was going on, like if I didn't know what that meant, I would have been so fucking confused. I'm like, is this what we're doing now? We're just running around saying this. This old bitch is just fucking running around saying 6-7. So then I asked my daughter, because I'm like, my daughter's in kindergarten, and I go, hey, I was like, does anybody say 6-7 at your school? She goes, no. And I go, do they say it? And they do this, and I did the hand thing, and she goes, oh yeah. She was like, and she named the kids that did it, and I'm like, yeah, don't hang out with those kids. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that, but yeah. So yeah, I just thought that was funny, and I told my wife what it meant because my wife's older than me, and she's like, so it's like on me to protect the family from like, if there's any like viral trends or anything like that our kids could die from. I'm gonna be the last line of defense, like the fucking meme team. And and so yeah. So I explained to her what it means, and so now she thinks it's fucking hilarious and stuff, and it's just so stupid. It doesn't mean, I'm sure teachers hate it, but it's just fucking ridiculous. It's just shit that, it's pretty funny. I did the most like fucking boomer thing ever that I've made fun of boomers for doing, like, I don't know how many times. So I owe boomers an apology. Not that they listen to this podcast because I shit talk them constantly. I love you, boomers, but I have to shit talk you. I get called the boomer all the time, and I'm definitely not. But I did the boomer move of I posted like a personal picture in my Facebook listing. So like if you scroll through it was just one random picture because I had a bunch of these pictures that I was going through. So like I sent this picture to my mom. So I had a picture of it on my phone for some reason. And yeah, so like I just accidentally posted it. So it was in the listing. So I had to like go in and delete it. My buddy texted me a picture. It was so embarrassing. So fucking embarrassing. So yeah, that was fucking annoying. Oh shit, what was that? And then let me see. It's been kind of it's been these weird like AI videos have been popping up, and they're from like usually on Instagram, and they're like accounts that I follow that like typically I like the shit that they post, and then all of a sudden they just like randomly have just started posting like just like AI slop. Like there's this one account that I follow that's just like they keep posting like these like little like random AI videos of like garage sale interactions, and they're clearly AI, and it has like the watermark AI thing that like lets you know that it's AI. But they just like don't. They've just been posting them like without context, like, and I'm just very confused. I'm like, I used to like the content that you're posting. Now you're just posting these weird fucking AI videos. It's like a weird fucking trend. And I like using AI. I'm not going to lie. I use it for my schoolwork. It comes in very handy if you're like trying to find a quote or like trying to find a statistic, like a specific thing. It's like it's narrowed searching by like it's crazy. It's made searching for shit like so much easier when you're writing papers. That's like another reason why I'm doing so well, I think, in school. I'm using AI not as like a cheating thing. Like I'm not like, hey, write this shit for me. But I'm like, you can be like, hey, I need a quote for like this specific fucking thing. And it's just that was my biggest problem was like finding sources and citing sources. So it brings you right to like where the source came from and where, you know what I mean? So it comes in very fucking handy. So I'm not against AI for some things. But it's just fucking a bizarre choice to just like post these videos with no context. You know what I mean? And be like, at least be like, hey, well, this is just like we've been fucking around with AI. You know what I mean? But like, they almost post it like they're like the hoping that people don't know that it's AI, and nobody comments on them either, which is weird too, because people used to comment on the other videos that they would post. So I don't know what's going on. It's very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. It's not just one account. I'm saying like I've seen a few accounts doing this. I don't know if it's like a new trend. Um. So anyway, I just almost did the do baby shark thing. So I've been watching this show on because it's football season. So like I like watching like football shows occasionally. And there's a show on Hulu called Chad Powers, and it's got that dude Glenn Powell. If you don't know who Glenn Powell is, this man is like this dude's a fucking movie star. Um, I love Glenn Powell a lot more than I should. Like that movie Anyone But You is on Hulu now. It's like him and Sydney Sweeney, and I'm kind of more excited to watch it for him than her, even though she's fucking smoking hot. Um, like yeah, dude, this guy's just a beefcake, you know what I mean? And he's like a good fucking actor. He's pretty funny in this fucking show. It's like a show about he plays like a football player that gets like I forget what happens. He does some dumb shit, gets kicked out of college right before he's supposed to head to the pros. So he like his dad's like a makeup artist in Hollywood, so he steals a bunch of makeup to like pretend to be somebody from like Anyway, I'm not gonna explain the whole show, but for some reason, man, this Glenn Powell guy, he's fucking got me in his death grip. I'm not a gay man. This dude is a fucking movie star, bro. He's fucking awesome, dude, and he's on that show. We've watched him in other shit. He was in that new Twisters movie, which I like the new Twisters movie, but it just kind of, at a certain point, it was just like, all right, how many fucking tornadoes can we watch these people drive into? I saw this back in the 90s, you know what I mean? And this one doesn't have Helen Hunt in a fucking tank top, a white tank top at that. um, but yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I like the show. But yeah, if you don't know who he is, look him up and just make sure you're not anywhere where you can get like an erection that's going to ruin your day or you get your panties wet. Because the Glenn Powell, man, he's a fucking sexy guy. And I think he's from like Texas, so he's like a fucking, manly fucking dude. He's good. He's like he's the next big thing. Even though he's a fucking major movie star already. He's probably like considered old by movie standard stars at this point. But I just had to say that because I was like watching his shit and I was like, man, I actually like this guy. Like usually the instinct is to fucking hate people like that and to be like, oh dude, this guy fucking sucks. He's so fucking fuck this guy. But no, man, you got to give credit where credit's due. If he can steal the spotlight in a Sydney Sweeney film, you got to be doing something right. All right. I'm going to finish up the podcast there. I know it's just a couple minutes early. I just don't have anything else to talk about. I don't want to sit here and talk about Glenn Powell. I don't know if I could talk about Glenn Powell for the rest of the episode. I don't think I have anything else. I don't know. That random fucking town-wide yard sale felt like kind of like the last. It was like the goodbye to the yard sale season. It's like, hey, here's one last surprise here, because I had no idea there was nothing advertised, and all the people that were part of it were like, yeah, this is the first year they've done it. Hey, I'm telling you, it was not advertised anywhere. I looked afterwards. I typed in the exact town. I couldn't find anything about it. I just happened to see this fucking one flyer that was like town-wide yard sale, and it had a QR code. So I'm like, you know how to use a QR code, but you can't figure out how to advertise a town-wide yard sale? The fuck are you doing? So, but yeah, that's always fucking awesome. I'm trying to remember some of the shit that I got. Let me see if I don't think I posted it because I've been fucking busy. Normally I would just post it onto the Instagram, but I don't think I even had time. Yeah, I think I just posted like a small section of it. Huh. Well, that sucks. All right. Anyway, I'm going to finish up. That's the podcast. Thanks for listening, and make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Again, hit the notification, and podcast available wherever you get your podcast. Check me out on Instagram, Perry Flips with a Z. On Twitter or X, Pothead Picker. Facebook, eBay, and whatnot are Flips and Giggles. So you can find me with that one. And then make sure you tune in tonight. Tune in. Don't change that channel. Tune in tonight at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, Pacific time. Jesus fucking Christ. Eastern time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We got doing a whatnot plush. Even if you don't buy anything, you want to just come hang out and say what's up. Throw us a tip. Anything like that. There's a link in my bio to get the bio of my Instagram to get $15 to sign up and spend. So check that out. And yeah, one more weekend until Halloween. So I think the next episode will be, the next episode should be like right before Halloween. So yeah, got a couple more days to finish up October, and then it's on to the really no yard sale season. So thanks for listening, and I will be back next week. Thank you.